Vanessa Jansen, co-founder of Positive Dynamics. Today I welcome you to our education session on investment markets. So what I have behind me here is an Andex chart. It's a 2020 Andex chart and it's a great way of educating people on investment markets. So what we've got down the bottom is 1950 and every year along until the end of 2019. So the best way to give education is just to explain what different markets have done over that period of time. So in 1950, if you had $100 and you invested that $100 into cash, you put it into a bank account that was delivering an interest return, your $100 would have followed this grey line. So it's very smooth and flat, and your $100 almost today would be worth $6,500. Whereas if you took $100 in 1950 and you put that $100 into the Australian share market, so you're holding there the top 200 shares, your $100 would have gone on a very volatile ride. So if we follow this dark blue line, you'll see there's lots of highs and lows. This is a 1987 crash. Took about 10 years for recovery. And then there was a lot of growth and rapid growth in the lead up to global financial crisis. So in 2008, just before 2008, we see this rapid incline. And then there was a big fall off. It took us around the same period of time, about 10 years for recovery, and then we've had some strong growth since. But that $100 invested in 1950 would be worth $251,000 over the same period of time. So what I've shown you there is two different asset classes. We've got cash and we've got Australian shares, and they're both at opposite ends of the risk spectrum. So the reason that I show you those two investments is it's important to have cash at different times and shares at different times in your life. So what we would look at in this education is very important that we also apply what age, how old you are, how long until retirement, and how you're going to react to different markets, different market falls. Because we weigh all that up together to work out whether you should be having more Australian shares, international shares, or more cash and fixed interest. So I'll give you another example. The light blue line here is like a balanced super fund. Now a balanced super fund typically has 40% of the fund in the cash, so this grey line, and fixed interest, which is a light green line that I haven't spoken about yet. And then 60% of the fund is made up of shares, so Australian shares and international shares. Now this light blue line, if you had $100 in 1950, you would have about $117,000 today. So education's the first step that we normally take with clients to then working out what their asset allocation should be. If you're close to retirement, you're not going to want to have your asset completely loaded up with shares, because shares will fall. We know that. We've seen that through history. So we'll need to have cash and fixed interest to protect us during those times. But look, stay in tune for our next edition where we'll talk about asset allocation.